I'm Brad, and I've been a tour guide for nearly 10 years. It's been my pleasure to show the best that my country has to offer to the hundreds of guests I've hosted over the years. Now you get to be my guest as I take you on an eco tour of paradise.
Hey guys, welcome back. Brad here again with another exciting episode of Brad's Bahama Eco Trip, and today we're on the north shore of Grand Bahama. Now, naturally, the series is to showcase the ecology of the Bahamas, and more specifically Grand Bahama, but we have to also understand that there is a direct correlation with society today and civilization along with nature and how it has to work together. So we will be talking a little bit about the city, but mostly focusing on aspects that involve nature. So being on the north shore of the island, we will notice that there is some canal system here. Now Grand Bahama has a total of 147 miles of canal system. Very, very important because it not only serves as a shortcut through the island, but it also provides a number of resources for people investing in waterfront property. Now, the canal is basically an artificial estuary, so a lot of our marine life does spend its time in controlled environments like these. Now, on the North Shore, we are covered with mangrove. All right, the entire 96-mile length of the windward side of this island is canal. Up here is the Rhachycalis americana, and this is also known as the sandfly bush. And the sandfly bush, the name of this small prostrate shrub comes from, if you burn it, basically is a deterrent for sandflies. Basically, these types of vegetation can grow in rocky environments, what one might consider the rocky coppice. And they create a very small flower, very inconspicuous in the axils of the leaves, and they do retain water relatively well, so they can grow in pretty arid regions. Now you'll find that they do a good job of creating a landscape that's quite unique, unusual to what you might think of when you think the Bahamas, but the name comes from the Greek, which means the beauty of rocky shores. Now these woody little plants will grow in the rocky shoreline area and small berms, and they're incredibly halophytic or salt tolerant, so that creates a very comfortable existence for them, given the fact that on the North Shore we are oftentimes inundated by storm flooding. So being salt tolerant is a good thing, and they can be submerged under salt water, exposed to constant buffeting winds, and still maintain their resilience. So that's why in areas that are generally flat and close to the water, these woody little trees are able to thrive. Now a little bit of plant chemistry. The plant kingdom is a virtual array of different chemical compounds, and many of the compounds basically are generated as plants build increasingly complex molecules, starting from basic sugars that are created by sunlight and photosynthesis. And a mixture of nitrogen allows for the building of amino acids, which in turn are basically the building blocks of proteins. Now right behind me is a Casuarina Aquisitifolia, or the Australian beefwood, as it's known in some places. We just like to call it the casuarina tree here. These are native to Australia, but we find them, they're quite popular throughout the Bahamas. Now, they were originally introduced into Florida as a shade tree in the 1800s, and they've subsequently made their way down to the Bahamas due to their very halophytic nature. Now, it is a coniferous tree. You can see the cones on the tree right behind me, and those would appear to be needles. It does resemble a pine quite a bit. Those are actually photosynthetic branches. Now, the casuarina gets its name from the cassowary bird. It's a pretty large bird. I believe it's the third largest bird in the world and the second heaviest, only after the ostrich and the emu. So the needles, or it's not needles, sorry, photosynthetic branches do mimic the feathers of the cassowary bird. So the cassowary bird is actually native to the forests of New Guinea. Now, these trees, we find them all over our coastline. They can be a bit of a problem as far as their needles creating so much ground cover that it prevents any other dune stabilizing plants from getting any sunlight, and basically causing an issue with coastal erosion when these trees are blown over by heavy winds. So big tall tree that gets knocked over, its net-like root system loosens up the topsoil and the sand, and the tide carries the sand out, shortening the beaches significantly.
I'm glad I got to share this part of my home with you. If you've enjoyed the tour, be sure to click the like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll see you on our shore soon.